Hey guys, so we're now in April. I have one more month until first year of med school is complete. It went by so fast, but now that the year is coming to a close, I feel like now would be a good time to reflect back and think about some of the struggles of being a first year med student. So I think the first struggle is finding out like what works best for you as far as like a study method. Like when you come to med school, you have to figure out how to truly study the right way. You know, in undergrad, I just feel like it was a different type of studying that you do compared to when you get to med school. So like the first 1 or 2 weeks, I was literally like, what am I doing? How do I cover this material? How should I be studying? How should I be reviewing? What should I do? And then it wasn't until one of our professors held a session. It was like a study skills session, like pretty much how we should be tackling the information that we're learning. And so she gave us a schedule, this schedule, which I still use, and it's pretty much just like a breakdown of Monday through Sunday, like how to review your lectures, when to review, and then like on Saturday, Sunday, you do questions, review, catch up. So pretty much I feel like that was my struggle in the beginning, like how am I supposed to be learning this material, how am I supposed to be studying? And it wasn't until we finally had that session about, okay, this is how you should be tackling the material, this is some of the study methods you should be using. Like in undergrad, I really never did practice questions to prepare for exams. I would just study the material and then go take the exam. Now it's like without doing practice questions, I don't think I can do well on exams. It's like you have to see how those questions are going to be asked. You know, you just have to test yourself. That's just a part of the preparation. So that was definitely an adjustment, just figuring out how to properly study. And it's very important to figure that out early because you do not want to be left behind. The next struggle was realizing there are no breaks. As far as like, okay, say undergrad, you take an exam, and then after that, you don't really have to like start upping your studying until maybe 2 weeks later. But now, say we take an exam on Monday, Tuesday, we're right back in. We're learning all the material and it's just go from there. Like there's no time to be like, oh, let me relax. Okay, next week I'll pick it up and really start. It's like, after the exam is over, you're back at it again. So that was just an adjustment, really not being able to, I guess, like relax and take a break after an exam, but just really, you know, have to be up on the material and constantly stay up on the material. The next struggle, I feel like, is being able to handle the volume of information and the pace at which you're going. We have an exam literally every 3 to 4 weeks. Like it's just a quick turnaround. You know, take an exam, learn the material, and then you're tested again. And the volume that we're receiving, so we do like organ systems based. So we learn everything based on the organ it's in. So say we're doing cardiology, we would learn like all the anatomy of cardiology, and then we learn all of the histology of cardiology, then like all the physiology of cardiology. So it's just a lot of volume of information. I think you can compare like 1 week worth of material or 2 weeks worth to maybe a whole semester, and that's not too much of an exaggeration. Like the amount that we're learning per day, per week, like it all adds up. And when it's time to take that exam 3 or 4 weeks later, it may sound like a short block, but everything you've learned in those 3 to 4 weeks is a lot. So I feel like that was something, like just being able to keep up with that volume of information and the pace at which you're learning all that information. The next thing is time. You know, realizing how much time you actually have to devote to be the best student you can be, you know, devoting your time to studies. And I feel like in the beginning, I just felt like there's never enough time in the day to do what I need to do, to cover what I need to cover, to do personal things outside of school. And so the struggle of time management, you know, before is like, how do I even find enough time in the day to read a book? But eventually you realize, okay, if you plan and properly have good time management skills, you can have time to do those things that you enjoy. Like the current book I'm reading, Lean In, which I love so far. I mean, all it takes is reading 10 to 15 pages in the evening before you go to sleep. Like you find those little spaces of time and make the most of the time that you have, really. Like when we first started gross anatomy, well, we started school all the way back in June, and then we started gross anatomy in September. When we started that, I'm like, how am I gonna deal with this schedule? Like we have a couple lectures a day, and then later in the afternoon we have anatomy lab. We used to finish like at 5 o'clock, and then by the time I get home it's maybe around 6 p.m. And I'm like, how am I even gonna still take my daily naps? Yes, I used to take daily naps and I still fit them in probably 3 times a week. I do make time for that, but really it's just like that feeling of time never being on your side, never having enough time. That was definitely a struggle in the beginning. And the last struggle I would say about first year is just like the idea of like thinking ahead. When school first started in June, I was like, oh my gosh, May's when we're finished. That's so far from now. Then I was thinking about, okay, 4th year, we have so many years to go until we get to 4th year and we're done with medical school. And then residency, that's another 3 to 5 years. But I feel like it's important to just be in the moment, enjoy the moment. Yes, 4 years in med school is a long time, but it doesn't have to be dreadful. You can make the most out of your time in medical school. And I feel like just having a positive mindset is so important. Just enjoy your experience and get through the 4 years of medical school. All right, I'll get back to the vlog now. I have a lot of studying to do today, so that's what I'm about to get to now. And then later tonight, I'm going to an event. It's called Fruits of Our Labors by Kiba. I went to high school with him. And it's kind of like art and some of the work that he does. He does photography as well. So that should be cool. So I'll see you guys later. So the event was cool. Just headed home now. Thanks for watching again this week. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and I'll see you next week. Bye.